Hi, katzcradul here. Today we're making Pico de Gallo. I think you're going to love it. Just a few ingredients required, beautiful fresh ingredients. We have cilantro, homegrown tomatoes, you can certainly use a store-bought variety, garlic, lime, onion, jalapeno, a little bit of salt and pepper. Let me go ahead and prep these items, or most of them. I'm going to show you a little bit about how I prep the cilantro and also the jalapeno, but I'll go ahead and get the other ingredients pretty much ready and then come back and we'll put it together. All right, we're back and I've got most everything prepped for you. I've got the cilantro mostly torn off of the stems. The interesting thing about cilantro is that there's as much flavor in the stem as there is in the leaves, but I don't like the way it feels in my mouth when I'm eating a Pico de Gallo or eating anything raw. Now, if you're going to make anything with cilantro that you're going to blend up the cilantro in the blender, I recommend using the stems. They're full of flavor. If you're going to make a chimichurri sauce, or if you're going to blend up cilantro to pour into ice cubes to freeze, to use in soup, something like that, by all means use this. It's great flavor. But I'm not using it today since I'm leaving it raw and I'm just chopping it up for my pico. So these little tiny stems are fine. I just take off the big ones. So here's the easiest way to chop big leaf fresh herbs like this, is to gather them together in the palm of your hand. Don't worry about smashing them or bruising them. That's the whole purpose, in order to bring forth their flavor. And then I'm going to watch my fingers carefully, and I'm going to bring my chef's knife across, trying to keep everything gathered up. If you're not very proficient with a knife like this, please exercise caution. Gathering again. All right, if you're not comfortable with that, I recommend holding your chef's knife at the point and rocking the butt of that knife and chopping it this way. Gather it together, continue chopping. It doesn't have to be real fine. I love cilantro. It's loaded with vitamins. It's so good for you. And frankly, either you love it or you hate it. And in fact, you can blame your parents for that, because a recent study has been done showing that we genetically think cilantro tastes like soap, or we don't. It's about 4 to 14% of the population who thinks it tastes like soap. And that comes from your genes. So it's very interesting. I'll post a link below the video so that you can look at that research. So here we go. I've got my tomatoes chopped up. I'm guessing that's about 3 generous cups. I've probably got, maybe a half a cup of cilantro here.
But the great thing is you don't have to remember that, because in the show more section below this video, the recipe will be posted.
That's right. I always post the recipe below the video. Let me rinse my hand real quickly. All right. And I probably have about a cup of onions here. And then I've got 3 really big cloves of garlic, and I pre-cut those to make it easier to go through my what do you call this, garlic press. If you want to just slice it or dice your garlic, you certainly can. We like lots of garlic in this family. This is a really old garlic press. I know there are new fancier ones out that are self-cleaning, but this one has been so durable. I bet I've had it for 25 years. It's all metal. All right, here's the last of it. Awesome. I'm just going to scrape that off of my garlic press. Do a quick rinse once again. Alrighty, I'm going to do a few cranks of fresh pepper. There's 2 peppers in this. Fresh crushed black pepper. There's also going to be jalapeno pepper. Generous amount of salt. Fresh tomatoes really require a lot of salt in order for them to taste flavorful. You may taste this and think, it doesn't taste quite right. And I'm gonna guess it's gonna be the salt. You probably need to add more salt. Okay, let's go ahead and get some lime juice in there. Makes it taste bright, slightly acidic. The salt will cause your tomatoes to render up their juice, so you'll notice that it'll get really juicy. Okay, one thing left. I'm going to show you how to do this. One more little rinse here. I'm going to clean up the area. I'm going to use the same cutting board I cut the cilantro on. This bad boy right here. A jalapeno pepper. The interesting thing about jalapenos is they're a fairly mild pepper when you look at on a Scoville unit chart. That's a chart that will tell you how hot peppers are based on the amount of capsaicin that's in them. Usually they're relatively mild, but every now and then you get a really hot one. So although I think I want to use this whole jalapeno, I'm probably going to dice up about half of it, taste my Pico de Gallo, and see if I need more. Now, I'm a contact wearer, and I try to always remember not to cut up jalapenos with bare hands. You can use gloves to cut it up, but an easy way if you don't have a box of gloves, this is just a vegetable bag from the grocery store. I put it on one hand, okay? I use my paring knife in the other hand, and never the twain shall meet, okay? You got to remember, keep this hand clean. I'm going to try to wrap this around a little bit. So I'm going to cut the top off that jalapeno. Then I'm going to come down and cut it right down the middle. That will reveal the inside with the seeds.
Go ahead and show them that too.
I'm trying to do this where
oh, sorry.
You can see. There you go. There's the seeds. I'm going to dig those out slightly. I can do that with my fingers even without the knife. There we go. Tap the seeds out. You can leave the seeds in if you want to. They're slightly bitter, and they will add a little more heat. So there we go. Almost touched it with a bare hand. So I've got a half a pepper here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slice down in little narrow slices. Okay, hope my bag's not in the way. If it's not narrow enough, go again. Okay, can you see how I've sliced that up there? And then I'm going to do I think I'm going to change knives here. Do a little narrow dice here. Really, so many times I have forgotten that I've sliced jalapenos and then gone to put a contact in and cried for the next 15 minutes. Okay, so same thing. I'm going to hold that point and just rock my knife over that just to dice it even finer. Okay, I'm going to gather it up, put it in my bowl. Now it'll take just a few minutes for that to bloom. Here's what I'm going to do in case I need to use this again. I'm going to pull the bag over my hand so that the hot stuff's on the inside. If I need to use it again, I'm going to put my hand right back in and use it again. I certainly will pick it up to pick up that other half a jalapeno and bag it up in case I don't use it.
It smells so fresh.
It is fresh. And whoops, I just dumped some of it out. The wonderful thing about summer is that tomatoes are plentiful, and that's the best time to make your Pico de Gallo, so you don't have to use those. Oh, well, I'm making a terrible
Goodness
mess.
sakes.
Okay. Let me take a little taste test. I'm going to use this spoon, and if it's not right, I'll get another spoon. I think everything's going to probably be right. I just really test for salt. Wow. It's absolutely perfect. Get you a spoon, Ace, so you can taste it. It's absolutely perfect. And no, I do not need that other half a jalapeno. It's very warm. So that's why I always encourage you to go lighter rather than heavier, because if it's too hot, then you're going to have to add a lot of more tomatoes. If you don't have tomatoes, then you're up a creek. You can always add more peppers. What do you think, Abe?
It's fantastic. So good.
Yeah, it's delicious. Like I said, if you taste it and it's like kind of lackluster and you don't think it's so great, it's probably that you need more salt. I think the level of salt's perfect in that. What do you think?
It's great, yes.
All right. Tonight we're serving this on some shrimp tacos. I'll make a video and show you how to do that. Anyway, there you go. Homemade Pico de Gallo. It's fabulous. It's easy. And it's so delicious. Until next time, this is Katzcradul.
And Prepare.